There are so many deadlines as a business owner, as a taxpayer, as literally an individual in the United States. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through all of the deadlines for taxes that you need to abide by and how to avoid paying penalties and interest. My name is Anna. I am the owner of The Tax Boss, where we help clients all over the country play the IRS game just like wealthy people do. So let's get right into the video. Let's start with January 31st of every single year. Your 1099 non-employee compensation, they look like this, are due on January 31st. Now, I created an entire video step-by-step of what is a 1099, where to file it, who needs it right here. So make sure you go and watch that video if you have no idea what to do with your 1099s. But 1099s are due by January 31st of every year. What happens if you do not file your 1099s by that date? You can be penalized between $30 to $350 per Miss 1099 per month. And there's no limit when I looked it up. So that's a lot of money. So make sure you get your 1099s in by January 31st. Now let's move on to March 15th. March 15th is the deadline to file your S-Corp return or your partnership return. You can also file an extension to file for 6 months on March 15th. Now, if you do not file your taxes or the extension to file your taxes by March 15th, I had to look this up because it's actually insane how much they charge you. You can be penalized as an S-Corp $195 per month per member that you file late. As a partnership, it gets worse. It is $220 per partner per month, and there is a maximum of 12 months. So if you don't file after 12 months, they're not going to charge you any more than that. So make sure you file your partnership and your S-Corp by March 15th. So let's go to April 15th. April 15th is a very popular date, and there are a lot of deadlines here. So let's start with an easy one. If you file a corporate return that is on a calendar year, the corporate return is due on April 15th, or the extension is due on April 15th. Now, if you are funding a Roth IRA, a regular IRA, or a money into your SEP or your FHSA account, you have until April 15th to fund that money so that it counts for last year's tax return. Now, if you're an individual, April 15th is also the deadline for you to file your taxes, file an extension, and pay your taxes. This is the biggest misconception that people have. Filing an extension is only an extension to file, meaning you still owe those taxes on April 15th. If you have no idea what you owe that date and you do not pay your taxes on time, you will be accrued penalties and interest, even if you pay in October, November, or December. Per the IRS, your taxes were due April 15th. Sure, you filed an extension to file, but not to pay. Now, for individuals, there's a couple of penalties if you do not file an extension or file your taxes by April 15th. The first one is failure to file on time, meaning you did not file your taxes by April 15th or an extension. This is what the penalty looks like. Your failure to file your return or your extension on time is 5% of the tax due for every single month that you do not pay. For example, let's say I made a calculation really quick. If you owe $10,000 in April 15th and you do not file until July, that would be $1,500 just because you did not file on time. That's a lot of money. Now, you also have a failure to pay your taxes because remember, I told you that they are due on April 15th. That calculation is as follows. Failure to pay your taxes on time is 0.5% for each month that you do not pay. So not only do you have failure to file penalty, failure to pay penalty, there are interest, okay? And one of the good things that the IRS does allow you is that if you, for some reason, it was your first time, you kind of forgot, you can call them and ask for a first-time forgiveness/abatement and say, hey, IRS, I kind of forgot. Can you just, help me out this one time? And if you're a good taxpayer, they most likely will help you out. But here's the problem. They will never, ever, ever delete or erase interest. You will always owe interest. So make sure that you at least file an extension for 6 months. During the summer, nothing really happened, so let's jump into September 15th. September 15th is the deadline to actually file now your taxes for the S-Corp or the partnership because you already filed the 6-month extension back in March, right? So now they're like, okay, September 15th, those are due. And then October 15th is when your personal and the C-Corp returns are due because you filed an extension for 6 months back in April 15th. Again, if you happen to miss any of these deadlines, you want to make sure that you file and pay your taxes as soon as possible. Get with the IRS, have communication with them. So at least they understand that you are working towards getting you back on the right path. What you do not want to do is never file and wait for them to find out that you did not file. So hopefully this breaks down a good breakdown of the entire year of the deadlines that are due for you as individual and as a business owner.